Hi everybody, my name is Kim Anderson. I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. For those of you who have been here before to practice with me, then I'm really glad to have you back. For those of you who have never been here before, you're new, and that's awesome. I'm really glad to have you here. If you haven't subscribed, then you definitely should. I'm going to have new classes coming out each week, and I would love for you to hit the subscribe button. That way you can stay up to date on those as they come out. Today's practice is going to be a little bit of a faster pace. It's accessible to everyone, so even if you're fairly new to the practice, that's perfectly fine. You might want to keep a couple of blocks or a couple of books near the mat. That way there are a couple of points during the class where you might want to access a little bit more height, and so it's great to use these under your hand. It'll just lift you up a little bit more, give you some more space. And apart that, the only other thing that I would like to ask you to do is have some fun with it. It's really important to also not get frustrated or too hung up on, on doing everything perfectly. Just, we're here to move, to get our energy flowing and get our circulation going, and like I said, just to have fun. So we're gonna get started in child position, and let's go. So you can tuck your legs underneath you and let your belly rest on the top of your thighs, or you can choose to widen your knees, more or less the distance of your mat, and you can start to let your belly drop in that space in between your thighs. Walk your hands forward, extending your arms, and let your forehead press down into the mat. And begin to breathe really deeply and slowly, in and out through your nose. Trying to free your body up of any tension you're carrying. And just let your mind grow calmer. We're going into a quieter space, drawing ourselves inward. As we slowly take a little bit of distance from all of those external distractions that we have constantly. And creating a little space here for ourselves so we can be fully present and fully aware. Listen to the sound of your breathing, trying to create every breath with the inhale and the exhale lasting for the same amount of time. Just let your body melt into the mat. And let this sense of calmness just wash over you entirely. And after your next exhale, when all of the air is out of your lungs, begin a really slow, deep, lengthy inhale into your nose. You can feel this breath travel down your throat, starting to expand into your lungs. Feel the side of your ribs pressing outward. Feel this air lifting your upper back, expanding your belly. And then with a relaxed face, open your mouth and exhale everything away. With a cleansing breath that sweeps away all of that extra stuff that we're carrying that doesn't serve. And we return to our deep breathing in and out through our nose
as we begin to start to bring a little bit of movement into our fingertips, pressing them down into the mat. And this activation begins to go up into your arms. Begin to lift your forehead off the mat and blink your eyes open. And then come up, shifting your hips forward, walking your hands back. And if your knees were separated a little bit wider apart, then bring them aligned below your hips. So your wrists are below your shoulders, your knees are below your hips, and you can keep your feet extended out here. Soften your face and begin to press the crown of your head forward and lengthen your tailbone back. Now we're looking for a little bit of space in our spine, activating the core, pulling the belly button in. Pushing into your hands, you're going to start to activate them by dragging them in the direction of your knees. They don't actually move. Your knees are dragging forward in the direction of your hands. Belly starts to drop. Lengthen your throat. You're widening your bum backwards and you're pulling your heart forward, nice and active, inhaling. And with a relaxed jaw, begin to exhale out of your nose. And open your back by rounding it, widening that space between your shoulder blades. And then inhale, coming back, beginning to drop your belly as you push your bum back and pull your heart forward. And with your breath, exhaling, pulling pubic bone in, rounding your spine and dropping your gaze. 2 more times with the breath. Inhale, still trying to drag your hands in the direction of your knees. It's like you want to bring your knees and hands to meet, but they can't because they're glued down. And then exhale, rounding. This time, close your eyes as you do it and just really feel what you're activating. So you're inhaling, your belly dropping down, hands and knees dragging toward each other as you lengthen your throat and facing forward, eyes closed. Exhaling as you round your spine, drop your head, and start to try to stick your back up onto the ceiling. And come back to the center. You can blink your eyes open. With your feet still pressed down into the mat, your fingers are spread super wide. Again, we're going to do the same movement of inhaling, dropping our belly down. Keep a soft bend in your elbows, lengthen your throat forward. And exhale, this time you're going to start to slinkily slide your way back. So your bum is going in the direction of your heels, but you're still trying to pull your heart forward. So it's like a double action of your bum going back, your heart going forward. Inhale to come forward, rounding your spine. Really open that area. Concentrate on opening between your shoulder blades. Exhale, belly drops. Push your hands away in front of you to slide yourself back. Inhaling, rounding yourself forward. And when your shoulders arrive above your wrists, exhaling, your belly drops, you're bending your elbows, and even though your heart's trying to go forward, your hips are bringing you back. 2 more times with the breath. Inhaling to come forward, and as you come forward, you drop your gaze between your knees. And then exhaling to roll yourself back, and you lift your gaze as you shift backwards. Inhaling to come forward, opening that area between your shoulder blades. And exhaling, sliding yourself back. Inhale, this time come forward, and when your shoulders arrive above your wrists, lift your feet and press your toes into the mat. And then looking forward, you're going to lift your knees, start to push your hands forward, soft bend in your elbows, and slide your ribs back toward your thighs, lifting your hips and coming into downward facing dog. Very gently, begin to pedal your legs out. So bending one leg and then the other, lowering your heel a little bit closer to the mat, going in that direction. So you get a good lengthening in the back of your legs, and you can even start to move your hips into this a little bit. So never being afraid to move and explore. And with fingers spread wide, hands are shoulders distance apart, feet are hips distance apart, really active with fingers and toes, soft bend in your knees. Inhale to lengthen your tailbone up to the sky. And exhale, pushing your hands forward and starting to lengthen in the back of your legs, lowering your heels to the mat. Feel integration in your abdominals as you pull your belly button in. And on an inhale, start to come up onto your tippy toes. This wave is going to go up your legs, up through your spine, and you're rolling forward into plank. And when you get into plank, your shoulders above your wrists, you're shooting out of the crown of your head, gazing at a space a little bit beyond the top of your fingertips. And then exhale, bend your knees, start to push your bum up to the sky. You're pushing your ribs toward your thighs and rolling back slowly into downward dog. See how slowly you can go, making this movement fluid and moving together with your breath. Inhale, come forward. As you do, you're pulling your belly button in, opening the area between your shoulder blades, trying to get a lot of length from your head down to your heels. And then exhaling, bending your knees, starting to slide yourself back. Coming into downward dog. One more time, inhaling, shifting yourself forward, really slow rolling movements. Soften your face and exhale as you slide your way back. Once you get back in downward facing dog, inhale into your nose and out of your mouth, exhale. Come onto your tippy toes and start to walk your feet forward toward your hands. Once your feet are behind your hands, bend your knees softly and just let yourself drop down, ragdoll. You can let your hands lie on the ground with palms facing up. You might want to take your elbows with your hands. You can even swing from right to left. Just try to enjoy this opening in your entire back body. Inhale into your nose, and then exhale out of your mouth. Let your hands drop down, touching the ground beneath your shoulders, bending your knees softly. Inhale as you lengthen your head forward and your bum back. On an exhale, begin to lift your right foot and sweep your right leg to the back of the mat. So lengthening it before you start to bring your toes to the back of the mat. Come down onto your knee. And from here, inhale, come up into low lunge. So activating your legs, pulling your left heel back, right knee forward. And if this movement of pulling your right knee forward ever causes pain on your knee, then please fold up a sweatshirt or a sock or a little pillow underneath your knee. And that way you've got a bit of cushion between the bone of your knee and the mat. Now from here, as you lengthen, you're shifting your pelvis forward. You're going to feel a lot of intense lengthening in your hip flexor, your right hip flexor. From here, begin to drop your left hand to the ground on the left of your left foot and lengthen your right hand up to the sky. Now you can use a block underneath your left hand to give you a little bit more height, and you can even use the block on the higher level, so keeping it vertical, to raise yourself up a little bit and give you more access. But try to shift your pelvis forward. You're still activating your legs, and you're just really reaching as much as you can, your right hand up to the sky and a little bit over the top of you to the left. Look down, bring your right hand down, move your block if you were using it, and lift your right knee. So you're on your right toes. pushing into your left foot, begin to shift your hips back, lengthening your left leg. And here again, if you would like to use blocks, you can keep 2 blocks under your hands, give you a little bit more height. Inhale, you're going to bend into your left leg, bringing your knee over your ankle. And then exhale, again, shifting back. So just working on a little bit of movement in our hips. Inhaling to lengthen forward, crown of your head pushing forward. And then exhale, shifting your hips back, straightening your left leg, but it doesn't need to be perfectly straight. Keep your knees a little bit bent. Inhale one more time. And exhale, lengthening your left leg. Inhale from here, bend into your left leg, and then walk your hands into the middle of the mat between your feet, turning your feet parallel. Inhale with your hands below your shoulders, pushing the crown of your head forward and your bum back, and then exhale, fold. Inhale, lifting up halfway, pushing your head forward, lengthening your spine. And now exhale, turn your heels in. So you've got your toes and your heels aligned. And you're going to gently bring your hands to your knees. And as you push on your hands, you can feel this opening in your inner thighs. So going nice and easy, but trying to keep your bum lowered and lifting the crown of your head to the sky, relaxing your shoulders. On an inhale, lengthen your spine, feel the engagement of your core. Exhale, begin to push into your right hand and rotate so you're looking over your left shoulder, getting a nice little twist. Relaxing your jaw. As you inhale, come back to the center, lengthen, and then exhale, pushing into your left hand and looking over your right shoulder. Inhale, come back to center, lengthen, and then exhale, lift your heels and forward fold. So feet parallel again, keeping a soft bend in your knees and just letting your spine lengthen. Inhale, lift up halfway, and exhale, now walk your hands to the back of the mat and sink down onto your left knee. Your right knee is directly above your right ankle. Inhale, come up into low lunge. So activating your legs, right heel is dragging back, left knee dragging forward. And when I say dragging, I just mean they're really activating strongly. They're not actually moving. Opening your heart to the sky. And then on an exhale, going into a side stretch in our low lunge, you're going to bring your right hand slowly down to the ground, remembering that you can keep a block under your right hand if you would like, and opening your left side body. So bringing your left hand up to the sky and then over the top of you toward the right, relaxing your jaw. And then coming back down with your left hand. Walking your right hand back onto the mat. Inhale, lift up your left knee. And then exhale, begin to lengthen your right leg. So keeping a small bend in your right knee, but we're looking just for a little bit of length in our hamstrings here. Inhale, start to shift forward. So pushing into your left toes, bringing your right knee above your right ankle. And then exhale to shift yourself back. 2 more times with our breath. Inhaling to come forward and exhaling to shift back. Again, you can have 2 blocks under your hands, perfectly fine. Inhale, coming forward, looking in front of you, lengthening your spine, and exhale, lengthening back. Inhale, bending into your right leg. Walk your hands again to the middle of the mat, turning your feet parallel. Now you might want to walk your feet a little bit closer this time than they were last time. Turn your heels in, toes out, so as we did before, but this time we're going to take our hands to our ankles and gently grab them. Bring your elbows to the inside of your knees. Now this can get pretty intense, so see where you are, try to relax your face, and then you can use your elbows as leverage. You can push against your knees, just gently, but you'll feel that that's going to go a little bit deeper into your inner thighs. And then as you try to lower your bum a little bit more, that's going to create a little bit more of an intense stretch. Keep lengthening the crown of your head forward. Relax your face. We've got 2 more breaths. Trying to keep your thoughts calm. They start racing when we find something a little bit more challenging, so try to stay with your breath. And then gently bring your hands in front of you. Inhale, lift your hips, turn your heels so your feet are parallel, and fold. Inhale, coming up halfway. Exhale, walk your hands and your feet to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Bend your knees softly, just let your ribs rest on top of your thighs or in that direction. And you can stay still, you can swing a little bit, anything you need to kind of digest anything that just bubbled up. You might want to take a deep inhale into your nose. And then out of your mouth, exhale everything out. It's a good way of melting away any of that tension that started to surface as we poke and prod our bodies. Inhale, hands below your shoulders on the ground. Lift yourself halfway, lengthening your spine. On an exhale, you're going to bring your hands to your hips. Start to let your elbows magnetize toward each other behind you, and still lengthening your spine, come up to standing. Bring your hands by your side, and for a moment, close your eyes. Come back into your steady breathing in and out through your nose, relaxing your face, softening your expression. Feel your core engaged, your knees softly bent, your shoulders relaxed. You're standing nice and tall, head growing up toward the ceiling and your feet pushing down into the mat, really rooting down. Super strong. On your next inhale, begin to sweep your arms forward and up as you lower your hips to the ground, bending your legs, Utkatasana. Exhale, bring your ribs on top of your thighs, stretch your fingertips toward the back of your mat as you pull your heart forward. Inhale, pushing into your left foot, bring your right leg up, bent at 90 degrees. And then exhale, palms meet in front of your heart, flexing your right foot, pushing your ankle into your thigh, your left thigh above your knee, and lowering your bum. So you're trying to push your tailbone back, and you're pushing your heart in the direction of your thumbs as you lift your head and you sink your entire body down. A lot of stuff going on. Don't get overwhelmed. You can just concentrate on 1 or 2 key movements and just try to feel what's happening. Allow the trembling and the shaking. Inhale, come back up to standing on your left leg. Bring your right knee in front of you, your right leg. And then exhale, softly bringing your right foot to the back of the mat. And if you want to bring your hands to the ground to do that, you can. Sink onto your right knee. Sweep your hands up to the sky, inhaling. Exhaling, bring your hands to the ground, shift your bum backwards, lift your left toes, and fold. So you're pulling your left hip back, really digging into the mat with your left heel, getting a nice stretch in the back of your left leg. Inhale, come forward, left knee above left ankle, push into both of your feet so you're on your right toes here. Lift your hands up to the sky. And then open your heart by pulling your arms down and to the outside, so like a goalpost, like a cactus. Pull your right hip forward, bend your right knee slightly, and then push powerfully into both of your feet as you try to lift your heart up. While your feet are rooting down into the mat, relax your face, soften your expression, and then exhale, coming forward with both hands. Inhale, shift your weight into your left leg, and then try to bring your right foot up toward the ceiling as you dive your head down toward your left toes. Wherever you arrive, just keep breathing. And then exhale, coming down with your right foot. Hands below your shoulders, inhale to lift halfway. And exhale, start to shift your hips down, sweep your arms up, Utkatasana. Exhale, ribs come above your thighs, try to magnetize your pinkies toward each other. Inhale, pushing into your right foot, lifting your left leg. Exhale, bring your palms united in front of your heart. Place your left ankle on your thigh above your right knee and start to push your bum back as you push your heart forward. Feel how this side is different and allow that. Shoulders melting down, your face, maybe even with a little smile, because that will immediately soften your expression. Inhale, come back up to standing, lifting your left leg. And then exhale as slowly as possible, slower than you want to. Take a step to the back of the mat. You can put your hands down, that's perfectly fine. Just play with it. And then come down onto your left knee, sweeping your arms up into low lunge. And then exhale, hands coming forward, shifting your hips back and lifting your right toes. Try to feel how you can pull your right hip back, and that is where you're getting the length in the back part of your right leg. Really pushing in to your right heel and pulling your heart forward. Inhaling to return with the right knee above your right ankle, lifting your left knee, and inhaling into high lunge. Now, try to pull your left hip forward, right hip back, so you're squaring your hips. Bend your left knee slightly. Start to pull down from the sky. It's like you're pulling something really resistant down. And then pushing your heart powerfully forward as you're opening your entire chest up. Lengthen your throat. Strong in your legs, strong in your arms, but really soft and chilled out in your face. And then exhale, coming forward. Bringing your hands down. Now start to shift into your right foot, and then you can walk your hands forward. As you dive your head down toward your right toes, try to lift your left foot up as high as you can, as high as it wants to go, and just stay with it. Now feel the crown of your head making its way down. Try to pull your left foot up a little bit more. And then exhale, bringing your left foot down to the mat. Inhale, lifting yourself halfway. And exhale, bending your legs and coming down to sit on your bum on the mat. Walk your feet out in front of you, and we're going to go right into Navasana. Lifting your shins. You can bring your hands behind your thighs and just work on lengthening your spine, because what tends to happen here is we start to kind of curve into it, and we're just doing our best to stay up. Feel this strength in your core. Pull your belly button in, glue your legs together, and really just work on lifting your heart. So kind of like we just did in high lunge, where you're trying to pull your shoulders back, lift your heart. And then if you want, you can start to lengthen your arms. And if you really, really want, you can also start to lengthen your legs, just to see what happens. But if you feel that you're starting to slump down, then maybe you just back off a notch and you come with your hands behind your thighs again. We're going to stay for 3 more breaths. Bear with me here. Breathe deep and focus. When you start to get the little flurry of thoughts in your brain, just breathe. Let them pass by like little clouds in the sky. You know that they're there, but you don't have to actually acknowledge them. 1 more breath, lift your heart. And exhale, Bring your feet down, hands below your knees. Inhale to pull your heart forward. Try to feel that length in your abdominals as you open your throat and look to the sky. And then exhale, still hanging onto your knees. Open up your upper back and let your glance go down toward your belly button. And inhale, come back to center. We're gonna go back to Navasana. You can work on what we were just working on. Now, keeping your legs bent, and actually maybe we can all do that. If you want to straighten them out, you can, but we can start here. Glue your legs together, bring your palms together, and then start to bring fingers down toward the ground on the right, to the center, and then the left. And we're gonna do this a few times. So just letting the shakes happen, staying with it, feeling that heat in your core. Keep your legs pressing together. We're gonna do 2 more times on each side. So 1 and 2. Brilliant. Bring your feet down, inhale. Getting a little relief as you lengthen out in your abdominals. And then exhaling, rounding your spine, looking toward your belly button. Inhale, coming forward. And then exhale with your feet on the ground. Lengthen your arms in front of you. And we're going to just roll down onto our backs. Once you get onto your back, bring your knees in toward your chest. You can give yourself a little hug. Maybe rock from right to left. And then from here, lift your feet up toward the sky. And then with your legs in a V, you're going to start to drop them open. And you can grab your big toes with your peace fingers, or you can just let your hands rest on the inside of your calves or the inside of your thigh. And wherever you are, just allow this opening in your inner legs. Feeling length in your neck, your head heavy on the ground. Try to bring your shoulders back toward the ground. And on your next inhale, unite your legs. You can still keep your grasp on your big toes with your fingers, or your hands on the outside of your calves or the outside of your thighs, wherever you can reach. And with your legs united, feet flexed, your toes coming down in the direction of your face, start to pull your legs gently toward you. And here, if you feel your tailbone lifting up, press it back down on the mat. So don't pull your legs to the point where your bum raises up, but keep your entire spine lengthening on the mat, and just gently get that stretch in the back of your legs. Inhale, release your feet, open your arms out to the side, bent at a 90-degree angle like a cactus. Bend into your legs, draw your knees into your chest, inhaling. Exhale, legs drop over to the right. Getting a nice little rotation in our spine. You can bring your right hand to the outside of your left knee, let your gaze drop over to the left. Starting to slow things down, moving into a quieter place. Bringing knees back to center, draw them into your chest, and then exhaling, letting your legs drop over to the left. Feel your right shoulder making its way down into the mat. Your gaze can turn to the right, left hand on right knee. And just breathe. Inhale, coming back to the center. Grab your legs, hug yourself one more time. Bring your forehead into your knees, squeeze everything. Deep inhale. And then exhale. Spread everything out as much as you want to. So taking up all the space you need. And feeling your entire back body firmly planted down on the mat. Take a deep inhale. Fill up every single space in your body. And exhale everything out. Letting your body open up into Shavasana. No resistance. Letting the force of gravity have its way with you, pushing you down. And we're not creating any obstacles for it. Keeping your eyes closed and keeping your body soft but heavy. On your next inhale, begin to fill your lungs. Fill every space that you can find. And out of your nose or out of your mouth, exhale. Feeling how that washes over you and the effect that it has. Begin to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, and then drawing your legs together, arms by your ears, lengthening through your entire body. Nice big stretch. Growing long on an inhale, and then on an exhale, again releasing yourself down into the mat. Place your feet on the mat, and you can stay in Shavasana for as long as you need, but if you're ready to get yourself back into the day or evening, rolling onto your side, allow your head to remain heavy on your arm. Take a couple of breaths. Notice any changes in the speed of your thoughts. Perhaps you've managed to calm them down and quiet them so the volume is a little bit lower in your mind. And when you would like, you can start to walk your way back up into a seated position. And taking a couple of breaths to really feel any space that you've created and any calmness that you've been able to incorporate into your day.
And take one more deep, deep inhale into your nose. And then exhale everything out. And I thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you have a wonderful day or evening, whatever time of day this is that you're practicing. And I hope to see you next time. Thank you.